shambolic, absolutely pathetic, and not good enough for this level. But that's enough about all the other Indian football podcasts. Hello and welcome to the Hello and welcome to the Indie Football Podcast review with LFC Ahmedabad. First of all, I'm really happy to be collaborating. Though Ipan couldn't join us today, but like guys, we have really wanted to do this with you for a long time. And of course, welcome Vatsal, welcome Roshan. I'm really happy to have you both here. Of course, I would have preferred having you both under happier circumstances, as Roshan Bhai is pointing
Hey,
out at
I'm
this.
happy. I'm perpetually happy. See,
Yeah, yeah,
we
yeah,
peaked
And
we peaked here on this date, and that's
yeah,
it. Our season's done.
yeah.
and
Actually, pretty
apparently
yeah.
and apparently my day is still not done because I follow KKR and we are on the verge of losing to Punjab. So I have more pain waiting for me in the next
Me,
couple of
Yeah.
hours.
Meet and Vatsal are having the absolute worst days. So that's why you should support Aston Martin. So your week is much better.
Yeah,
Sorry.
I am
But
a CSK supporter, so I can understand.
now we are all equal. Now we are all
Yes.
equal. Now we are all equal.
See,
But
But
yeah,
but but
yeah,
Anukash, before we start, I would like to say massive thanks for bringing us here on this platform. It
mm,
is my debut on Indie Football Podcast because Roshan already has been on one of your podcast episodes before, if I'm not wrong.
yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
So it is my debut, and hopefully I can like get my nerves out of the way and contribute.
yeah, yeah. See, definitely we would be having you on one of our main episodes on Spotify also. But again,
Oh,
like always, having you on board is like it's always a pleasure. And I mean, honestly, like Batsal, what do you think? What went wrong for Liverpool today?
see, genuinely, if you ask me, um, if the thing was when Salah scored the opening goal, I was really optimistic because something we have seen this season is we always turn up against big teams. We beat Man City early on. We beat United 7-0, as Roshan can show you once again if he wants to. And oh yeah, there you go. So to be honest, I was really up for it after the first goal, but then in the end, I felt like it was the same old Liverpool back again. Like it felt like, you know, Klopp suddenly invented a time machine or something, and we went back to that Bournemouth game all of a sudden, where we are lethargic in defense. We look like we are not bothered about it because we are not in a title race. I'm lost for words, to be honest, Anukarsh. I cannot describe how bad our performance in the second half was.
I particularly felt that if that pass to, I think it was from Salah to Jota, I guess, when Liverpool were two
Yes.
on one, if that goal had gone in, the game would have been completely different. And
Are you
we talk
talking about
football.
that Jack Grealish
Yeah,
intervention?
yeah, 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 yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, definitely. I'm talking about that.
yeah.
We talk football, of course, is Abhi, who has started working for the IFP only, and he has been doing YouTube shorts with us. He had predicted that Liverpool will lose 3-1, and that's what happened. Happened. But
Three
yeah,
one.
like honestly, like going back to it, what I personally feel is that it was those moments in the first half, and once the first goal came around, Liverpool were all in shambles. Roshan bhai, what do you think
Yeah.
about that?
I mean, I was not expecting the first half that we had, to be honest. Like, I didn't think that we would turn up this good. It looked like, for some moments, it looked like the Liverpool of yesteryear, at least. I will not say
Mm,
years, because we haven't been bad for few years. This is the only season that we are
Yeah.
struggling. But yeah, I think we played really well. We were there for the second balls, and we were doing really good. I mean, Man City goal, you can't fault them for. We couldn't fault Liverpool players for like not doing anything about it. It was a really good goal. So 1-1 was a fair game at that point. I I think I'm perplexed as Vatsal, because generally halftime talks is like, okay, you perform a little better than what you did, and then we just came out super cold. I don't know what happened. I think one of the key takeaways from this game was Van Dijk seems to be very out of sorts. He's not finding his
yeah,
confidence, because
he's
even in the
pretty
first
ruffled.
half, yeah, because in the first half he had the ball and Harvey Elliott was open, and generally he puts those long diagonals. He didn't put that ball there. So like, we generally don't have many outlets from our midfield because we are very stagnant there. We are not very creative in the midfield, so
Hmm.
we need to play those long balls. And then when Javi Elliott was in such good positions, Van Dijk didn't take any advantage of it. So it was very weird that we did not capitalize on the moments we had. Um, I think there are some positives to take as well. It was not a full hogwash of a game. First half was really good. I think people will think I'm a super Nat Phillips propagandist, but he
I
really
thought this
deserves
was
a
coming.
chance. No,
Yeah.
but to be honest, like what if we are out of options? If we're playing Oxlade Chamberlain as like we don't have any option to play anybody, why can't we give him the chance and prove it? Like that's what I'm
I
saying.
felt, I felt, I felt this was the match when Arthur should have been brought in, because I would really want to
Hmm.
see that if nothing is working out, at least if they would have brought Arthur in the last 10-15 minutes, at least we could have maybe seen him start in the next match and seen what he's all about. Because honestly, like he has been injured for most of the season. Now for the last 15-20 days, when he has come back to fitness, I think it's like we don't really have an option in midfield, man. You don't have
Yes,
Backdays,
but
you don't have Thiago. So
I think
that's what I think.
but on
one
that,
another thing
yeah,
in this case is like I think Klopp needs to then give and say ki season is not super salvageable right now. Let's play like uh we don't have anything like to fight for. Let's say Champions League is also gone. Let's start
Mm,
playing players which we want to test, right? Agar abhi nahi test karenge to when? So
hmm.
if there are new players who
But
need to be brought up to fitness, who need some match time, and if you need to give a break to these players, why not let give these young players or whosoever are yearning to get a chance to play for Liverpool and
okay,
see
I
if
will, I
that
will, I
changes.
will, I will stop you here because I want to ask one question to Vatsal, and then I'll come back to you,
yeah,
Roshan bhai.
yeah, yeah.
But Vatsal, what do you think about Grealish's impact today? Like he was all
Yeah.
over bringing in those, he was all over in defense also. He made that vital interception, and in attack he was making all those plays, making all those runs, and he got the fourth goal also in
Did,
the end. So what do you think about his
didn't you feel like
aspect
that
today?
was prime Genie Wijnaldum under Klopp? Like
No, Jimmy Wijnaldum. Exactly.
contributing in attack, being there in defense when needed. I'm not saying Genie Wijnaldum used to make those runs at the back, but yeah, credit when credit is due. I think Jack Grealish was probably Man City's best player today. The one thing I liked about is that in the goal, I think did he assist Julian Alvarez for the opening goal if I'm not wrong,
Yeah.
I
or
think he was pivotal in that. That's what I remember him.
yeah, so those are the contributions which you make. Like yeah, the pass, I think it was Gundogan who found him and then he crossed it into the box, a low cross
Yeah.
for a tap in. Like these are the things when movement and anticipation is something which is clinical, because Gundogan didn't even have a look that Jack Grealish is there. He knew Jack Grealish would be there, and those are the kind of things which you expect a top player to do. You know for a fact that he's going to be there, and he always and he contributed again. The another thing I like about Jack Grealish is that the pressure of his price tag might be there on social media and stuff. People always, how shall I put it, always crucifying him for his lack of goals and assists, but I think he some today, at least for today, he showed that that burden is not on his shoulders all the time. And
Right.
for me, I think we briefly talked about it, that intervention which he made, the block which he made was outstanding. And
Totally.
you don't expect a forward player who's on the wings to be there all the time, but he was
Totally.
he
I
was
agree.
right there. And that is the kind of, you know kind of energy levels which we expect Liverpool players to have under Klopp, because we usually play those high pressing, high tempo kind of games. We didn't see that, but we saw exactly what we expect from our players from Jack Grealish, which was a little sickening to see. But then, as I said, credit when credit's due. I think Jack Grealish
Talking
was.
about expectations, Roshan bhai, like we have a question. Do you guys see Liverpool making it to the top four? Roshan bhai, what do you think? Is it possible or is it game over?
I mean, it is going to be tight because we are not fighting just people above, we are fighting people below us as well. There
Yeah.
is Chelsea, there is Brighton, and so it's not that we are having. It is going to be very close. Realistically, I would say we are not going to make it. We might like try hard and finish fifth. I think.
The
For top four to happen, you're expecting the teams above you to have a really bad game,
hmm.
and so I'm not really sure because as it's not like Liverpool is going to capitalize on a bad weekend. Let's say if City loses, United loses, all the top four lose, and then I'm not gonna sit like, okay, now Liverpool can win and do it. So
It's been the
we don't
story
have
every
any.
week.
Yeah,
It's been the
the
story every
the
week where we
the,
are
on,
right.
ups.
the
Yeah,
only
And we
saving
haven't
grace.
capitalized before also. So if you look at
Ye-
like we had a game week in hand, and then we drew that game before Man City's.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't think Liverpool has this capacity in it unless it's like complete we come in with a completely different form and something transforms, something clicks, all these gears are working together. It could happen. I think it's all up here, to be honest. These are the
The
same
I agree.
these are the
the
same
only
players. Yeah.
the
Yeah,
only
yeah, but
saving grace and something, and the reason why I still haven't given up on Liverpool finishing in the top four is that Tottenham are currently on a downward trajectory, if you ask me.
yeah,
Not that we are on an upward trajectory as well. Let's keep that out to the side. But Tottenham, I don't think are going to have a relatively good end to their season because there's a lot of chaos going on at their club. They recently sacked Antonio Conte. They have like a replacement, but he's like a in, interim manager, if I'm not wrong. So so you never know what the clubs above us are going to do. Yes, there's always Newcastle United as well, but let's be honest, their form has been patchy. They can get a few wins here and there, but on the other hand, they have struggled in front of goal. So and sometimes most of the games are draws anyway. So we still have a
true.
chance, but another point to keep in mind is it was Man City, and we never expected a result out of this game anyway. The only reason
I
why
see.
we are disappointed is it's a 4-1 defeat. If it's a 2-1 defeat, I don't think we would have had our down in shame. I think we would have just accepted the fact and just been like, okay, anyway, we are not going to expect a result. 2-1, at least
Actually,
we showed some fight.
Actually, the sad
But
part is that every week, as Roshan Bhai pointed out, like we have to kind of wait for Tottenham and the likes of Newcastle to play and hope for them to do bad, right?
yeah,
And
that's
I
the
think that
issue.
has been
But
the
but
uh,
even if we are hoping for them to do bad, it's not we are doing that great that, oh, we know for sure that we are going to capitalize. So that's a
exactly,
sad part. But again,
exactly.
I would say I would still think that it's all about mentality. I think these are the same players who have done really well for last 4 years, and something will click. And I'm hopeful, and I mean, I know that hope is that what kills us, but 13 years, 14 years, 15 years, we have learned so much of being a Liverpool fan, and
Yeah,
we have been resilient in the worst of these are not the worst of the times, I think, because your expectation of Liverpool is here and they are here. That's why
the
you feel this
I
agony. But I think let's 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 give Liverpool a chance. Let Lady Luck play some part as well. We were unlucky that Rodri didn't get a red card as well. So there were
yeah.
a lot of woulda, coulda, shoulda kind of situations. But at the end of the day, what happens and what tangibly is a goal and things like that will tell you the scoreline. So
So
Isn't
makes sense.
isn't our
I
next game
Yes,
against Arsenal?
Chelsea.
Chelsea, okay.
We play that.
We
So actually,
we
like
play Arsenal
you know,
relatively quick. We play Arsenal
yeah, next
relatively
weekend.
soon as well,
yeah,
right? Yeah, next week. Okay.
Next week. Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, on Roshan Bhai, what he said about that, we shouldn't give up. I really agree with him on that, and I think that's a very good way to end this, Liverpool versus Man City review.
Yeah,
That the lady luck of Rebecca Tavares would be the one that can actually help us get past whatever we have been through. But yeah, as we say, as a Liverpool fan, we never walk alone, and we can
yeah.
just hope for the best. And for now, it's of course for Liverpool's players to get back to the drawing board and get whatever they're doing right. To actually get whatever they had been doing right to do it more often in games and not try to make those things that have let them down over and over again, because that's costing them right now. But yeah, thank you
Hmm.
so much. Roshan and Faisal for joining me.
Absolutely.
And it's great having you guys here. And we'll, of course, be doing these
More.
post shows more often. And it's great having you guys. Thank you so much.
Thank you,
No worries.
Anukash.
Thank you for having us.